Hiya, I'm Lucy Rotchick and this is my Wrestlemania predictions. Right, from the top, Rey Mysterio versus Punk for Rey Mysterio joining the Straight Edge Society. I think everyone knows that Rey Mysterio is going to win this, purely for the fact that the only thing they could do with him, really, to show that he's joined the Straight Edge Society, is to make him unmask, and they've kind of run the whole unmasking thing before. We all know that they're not going to make Rey Mysterio a heel because he sells way too well as a face. He makes so much money for the company and with the kids and everything, so they're just not going to do it. It would make no sense whatsoever. Second match is Orton versus Legacy. I know it's officially it's the triple threat, but we all know it's going to end up as Orton versus Legacy. I just might as well say what it is. I think they're going to let Orton come out on top because they are pushing him as a face and the crowd's loving him as a face. I actually quite like Orton as a face for the basic reason a lot of us have been cheering for Orton for a long time. And now they're actually letting us, which is quite nice. It's quite nice to see his reaction to the crowd reacting as well. Because you can see that he's enjoying the crowd cheering for him. Which is quite nice. Like I said, I reckon Orton should go over in that one. Triple H, Sheamus. To be honest, I think Sheamus is going to go over. I think if Triple H doesn't put Sheamus over, it will be another nail in Triple H's coffin. When he wants to put someone over, he's actually bloody good at it, but he doesn't do it very often. So I'm hoping this is actually going to be a really good match. It's one of those where it's either going to be a complete squash and Sheamus is going to look like a complete and utter fool, which would completely waste everything they've done with him up to this point, or Triple H is going to put him over. Miz versus Jomo and Truth. I think everyone knows that the Miz show is probably going to go over. I quite like, I don't know whether I want Jomo and Truth to win or not, because I'd rather see John Morrison used better. I think he is upper mid-card / main event material. I think he's brilliant. I love his style. I love his moveset. He reminds me of Shawn Michaels when Shawn Michaels first went out on his own. I think he's got so much potential. And I think if they whacked the tag titles on him and left him to rot in what is a non-existent tag situation in the WWE, it would be a crying shame. Money in the Bank. Right, I've got the names written down, and I do apologise for the fact I'm actually looking at them. But I'm just going to run through the names. Right, Kane. Gonna leave in the next year or so anyway. Has never really been given a push since he demasked, apart from Brothers of Destruction. And they're using him to job to people like Drew McIntyre. Yeah, so not going to win. Kofi. I actually think it maybe. Kofi's a maybe. I'm not convinced that... okay, yeah, Kofi's a maybe. Evan Bourne, so not going to win. Cracking young star. I think he's... granted, I'm a high flyer girl. I do like the high flying guys. So I am slightly biased when it comes to Evan Bourne. But basically, at the moment, he's being used as a jobber. So I really don't see him going over. MVP is a mid-carder. Bless his cotton socks. He's not ever going to... I don't think... They've not... He's not ever been pushed as main event material. So it's kind of, if they did put him over, I would be very surprised. Christian, I think, is the most deserving of actually winning Money in the Bank. Because to me, he has got the X factor that makes a WWE superstar. However, Vince McMahon has never ever actually agreed with this. Vince has never rated him. He pretty much has told him he's never going to get a championship, apart from on ECW. And he has consistently pushed Christian down. Has he had a change of heart and decided to push Christian? I would be very, very chuffed if he had. But, okay, we'll put Christian in the maybes. Ziggler, I don't see that happening. They won't even put an IC belt on him, for God's sake. They played with it for ages, and they were like, really, won't he, really, won't he? And if they don't have the confidence to put an IC belt on him, I don't see them risking giving him Money in the Bank. I really don't. Shelton Benjamin is actually one of the more talented guys. I think he's actually a very good wrestler. Unfortunately, he's kind of... I just think he sort of lacks... There's something missing in his character. Whether it's just that for me, he just doesn't go over with me. I don't know, but I don't think he's going to win. I just don't think... I can't see him against any of the guys that we have in the championship picture at all. Swagger. If this was 2 years from now, or 3 years from now, I could see Swagger going over. But not yet. I think he has the potential. I think if they did something with him and actually built him up, he could be credible. But at the moment, I don't see it happening. Matt Hardy, who I absolutely adore. I must admit, I do have a real soft spot for Matt Hardy. But he's a lifetime mid-carder. He is a lifer in the mid-card. I really don't think they're ever going to give him a main event run. I really don't. And to be honest, I don't think... I'd love to see it happen. But at the same time, I don't think it ever will. Drew McIntyre is the annoyance of the bunch. I don't rate him personally. He's an average wrestler. He's an average heel, but he has all this Vince McMahon picked me hype. I think he probably could go over. I think because they want to push him so much, it's quite possible they will put him over, which is kind of annoying. So out of the set, we've got Kofi, Christian, or Drew McIntyre that are the most probable to go over. If I had my pick, if it was who I want to go over, I would say Christian. If it was who I think will go over, I would say Drew. Oh God, I'm nearly out of time already. Okay, I'm going to have to make this a 2-video one. The one thing I will say on the whole Christian going over is that the concept of what they could do with him is so much better with Christian. Because I would love to see them do the Jericho Edge backwards and forwards. Christian take it off Jericho. And then Edge be like, no, I want it, and it end up in a triple threat. I think that would be awesome. I would love to see those three in a triple threat. because I really rate Edge. I really rate Jericho.